bass players, welcome back to our double bass review course. In today's video, we're going to be going over the F major scale, 1 octave. We've got a couple different exercises and warm-ups for you to try, and I've got a new song for you to learn. So to get started, always make sure that your bass is in tune and that you have enough rosin on your bow. There are plenty of awesome tuning apps out there that will either listen to you and tell you whether or not you need to go sharp or flat, or you can listen to the pitch and try to match the pitch, which is a little bit more difficult, but if you have a really good ear, that's a good way to do things. For rosin, always remember, just try 3 strokes of rosin at a time. Don't be over there putting 10 strokes on, because you might end up with too much. And always remember, always apply rosin only down bow, right? I don't want to see you going up bow and down bow, right? Always down, down with your rosin. And that's because we have little hairs on our bow that kind of stick that way, right? And we want them to stand up so that they grab as much of the string as possible. And when we put our rosin on this way, it flattens those down. So to get started, pull up 2 documents today. One is called F major scale and the other is called A New Tune in F major. We're going to start with the one called F major scale. And again, the best way to watch these videos is if you have a laptop that can do like split screen, like you can pull up a document on one half of the screen and then watch the video on the other half. And if you can plug the video into some quality speakers, that's probably the best way to watch this video, but I understand not everybody has all of those materials. So just do the best you can, and if you have any problems with it, always reach out to me and let me know if there's anything that I can be doing better. To get started, let's do a little exercise, a little warm-up to get our fingers in the mood for playing. You're going to take your first finger on the E string on the note F natural, right? So a half step above your open E string. And then your second finger lands on F sharp, and your 4th finger lands on G. So the exercise today is we're going to play open, 1, 2, 4 on each string, and then go back down. So it'll sound like this. And then when we go back down, we start back at that top note and do the opposite. So we're going to start slow and get a little faster. Play with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double check before we keep going, double check to make sure that your left hand kind of looks like you're holding a soda can, right? So that thumb is kind of like resting on the neck in between where your first finger and your pinky finger go, right? So you shouldn't have your thumb like way up here or way down there. It should be kind of right in the middle of your hand. And try to keep it with a little bend to it. Don't let it totally collapse like that. You also want to make sure that these fingers up here are keeping, like, in general, a pretty decent bend. You don't want flat fingers like that. And you want to make sure that your elbow isn't too high like that, and it's not resting on your bass. It's just at a nice, comfortable angle right back there. So double check your posture. And then, of course, also double check your right hand posture. Make sure that your bow, when you go back and forth, is staying pretty parallel to your bridge and your fingerboard. Make sure it's not up like that, down like that, right? And this is the bow hold. This is what your right hand should look like, right? So let's do that one more time, but pick it up a little bit in tempo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, go. Back down. Okay, one more time, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. like you to try this on your own. You're going to see how fast, consistently you can play this. So don't do like something like this. Right? So you want it all consistent, but as fast as you can get it. So pause this video and try playing that as fast as you can. Boop. And when you're ready to move on, we are going to do our F major scale. So take a look at that document, F major scale. I've got the fingerings written in here, and as you can see, we've just got one octave. So for this scale, you should not have to shift. We're going to keep our hand in half position for the entirety of this scale. So that means every time you're playing this low F, you're playing it with your first finger. Every time you play this G, you play it with your fourth finger. So we're not moving around, right, shifting like that. We're keeping our hand in the same spot. So let's go over this really quick, just really slow. Put your first finger, find F on the E string. And then G should be right where your fourth finger lands. Then you're going to play open A. Then B flat is that same half position first finger on the A string. And C is where that fourth finger lands. So let's just try just that much. So F, G, A, B, C. 1, 2, ready, go. And back down. So from that C, let's keep going. So play C. Then you're going to play open D. And first time we're using our second finger on E, right? And then fourth finger lands on F. So watch how I play this whole scale without shifting. Right, so keeping my hand in the same spot. We're going to go through this scale and play half notes, and then right when we get back to the bottom of the scale, go right into quarter notes, then go right into eighth notes, and we'll stop after that. When we're playing half notes, be very aware of your right hand bow. So, because we don't have to focus as much on left hand when we're playing half notes, because there's not as many changes, really use that time to focus on having a very even, consistent bow that goes all the way from your frog to your tip, right? And think about having really beautiful transitions between notes. So don't... Right, I want to hear a very nice transition. So let's start this scale in half notes, all right? Don't double the top note. When you get to the top note, just go right back down. 1, 2, half notes. Quarter notes. Eighth notes. Good job. If you had trouble with that, feel free to rewind this video and play along again until you get it down. But when you're ready to move on, we're going to do a quick little note finder quiz in half position. So it's encompassing all open strings, and then all notes in half position. So that's F, F sharp, G, B flat, B natural, C, E flat, E natural, F, A flat, A natural, and B flat. So we didn't really cover those in our scale. So review those really quick. You've got your A flat, your A natural, your B flat are all your half note on the G string positions. So how this is going to work, I am going to say a note, and then you're going to find, let's see, I think every note except for C, find 2 spots in half position to play that note, all right? So try it first where I say it and then you find it and then I'll tell you the correct answer. But if I'm going too fast for you, please feel free to pause the video after I say it and give yourself some time to think about it and figure it out, and then hit play on the video when you're ready for the right answer. So our first note is G. Find 2 spots in half position where you can play G. And the correct answer is here, open string G, and then 4th finger in half position on the E string. And remember, to get the answer correct, you have to say it with the correct finger, right? Don't just find it on your bass. Find it with the correct finger in half position. So your next note for this note quiz is D. Find one place in half position where you can play the note D. Kind of a trick question. So your answer, open D. No other spots in half position, like with fingers down, will give you a D, except for open D. So next question, find me 2 places in half position where you can play B flat. All right, think about that for a second. B flat, 2 places on your bass, and find the right fingers in half position. So the correct answer for that is right here, 1st finger on the A string, and 4th finger on the G string. That's where you play B flat. All right, I'll ask you one more. This is an important one. Where is 2 places in half position where you can play F? Find F for me in 2 different places. Do 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 do. All right, so F. Your first spot is right here, 1st finger on the E string. And then your second spot for F is right here, 4th finger on the D string. So now I think you are totally warmed up in half position and ready to learn a new song. So this is just something that I kind of came up with, just a little melody line to practice some sight reading. I did not write in the fingerings for this because I'd like you to try and figure it out for yourself. This piece would not require any shifting, so it's kind of like how we played before. All of your notes use the same fingers when you come to it, and it's all in half position in F major, right? And there's a key signature here, right? The accidentals aren't written in, so remember that every time you see a B, it's a B flat, all right? Which is that 1st finger on the A string. So why don't you take a second and pause this video while you review this piece and try to figure out the notes for yourself. You can go over it and clap the rhythm, and you can go through it and name every note so you know what to prepare for, and you can even try playing it a little bit. So pause this video while you review this a little bit. And when you're ready to move on, we're going to play it together really slow, like really, really slow. And I'll give you 3 different tempos to play along with, right? So the first one, super slow. The next one is kind of moderate. And the third one will be like a decent tempo. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first note is F with 4th finger on the D string. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you got that right, move ahead. But if you were having trouble with that, please rewind and try playing it with me one more time. But if you're ready to move on, we're going to play it up tempo a little bit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah. 1, 2. Ready. Go. Good job. Same thing with the last time through. If you got that right, move on. But if you were having trouble with that, please rewind and try it one more time. But now we're going to take it up tempo just a little bit more. All right, so 1, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job on that. Rewind it and play along again if you didn't do well on that. And your assignment for this video is to record yourself playing this little tune and email or text it to me. Bye, good job!